So the two most important parts of self-care for me are the mental and the physical. And I think the mental always takes precedence purely because it's a big factor and plays such an important part in every other aspect of life.
Self-care for me, in every sense of the word, is me caring for myself. Spiritual, let me start with that one. I want to know if I'm, communing with God properly, effectively as well. Am I reading my Bible? What's God telling me at this time? Am I following instructions? Am I meditating on what God is, talking to me about? Physically, how am I doing? Am I sleeping well? Am I eating right? Am I working out, stretching, exercising, walking as well,
Self-care is depends on what mood I'm in. So if I'm in a stressed out phase where I feel all over the place, I'm a bit sad, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, self-care for me with that moment would be a bit of peace and quiet from the kids, a nice warm bath, actually wearing something nice, not physically wearing makeup but doing up my hair, and resting, watching a movie, doing something for myself in that space of mind and in that mood to lift up my spirit, lift up my mind and my soul, my body at that very moment. But if I'm feeling good within myself, me getting myself something I've always wanted is a nice pair of shoes, so that's where material things come into it.
Mentally, how's my mindset like? What am I thinking about at the moment? Am I doing what I love to do, or I'm just doing this for money? So am I doing intellectually? Am I feeling right? I want to make sure I'm good, spiritually, emotionally, like on the soul level, let me say, my body, soul, and spirit, they're doing just fine. That's soul care for me.
It's doing the simple things like doing absolutely nothing. Given a busy lifestyle that I have, I think something as simple as having a day where you don't have to plan everything out, you have next to no plans other than taking it easy.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking this video. I really do hope you enjoy what you guys see. I am here, okay guys, as you can tell by the title, I have a special guest with me. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hello everyone, I'm Arlene and I'm a journalist, producer, and I'm also a content creator, and I'm really happy to be here doing this today. I'm really excited.
Make sure you guys subscribe to her channel. I'll leave her channel link in the description box below, so make sure you guys check her out as well. Today we are basically going to be talking to you guys about self-care, what it means to us, how important it is to us. So we're just gonna do that while we do our makeup. So my first question is gonna be, what does self-care mean to you?
So this life is hard, and you've got to brush your teeth so that you can go to work and not be unpleasant. You've got to take care of yourself, you've got to get your hair cut every once in a while. I feel like self-care is all of that. So to me, self-care includes budgeting and meal prepping, because that's the stuff that you need. That's you taking care of yourself so that you can go out there and do whatever it is you want to do. Like if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, or if you're working hard at your job, trying to be a mother, what they say, the better you are, the better mother you are, the better employee you are, the happier you are, the better sister, friend you are. So I feel like getting your hair done, getting your nails done, tidying your room, getting a massage, all those things alongside budgeting, alongside meal prepping and all those hard things, they are perceived to be some kind of a luxury, but I don't think they are. I think they're quite important. I think they should be what's the term? They should be prioritized, because the people who do certain things in their lives, it shows. The ones who go running, the ones who are in therapy, the ones who budget, the ones who, it shows. Do you know what I mean? So self-care is staying on top of yourself, taking care of yourself so that you can be the best you possible, in my opinion.
You know what? it's so funny because self-care for me, I used to be like, yeah, looking after myself was like the luxury. Like, oh, if, you know, at the end of the month, I'm gonna take myself to a spa, I'm gonna have a massage, oh, I'm gonna treat myself. But I think over the years, I've kind of realized that it's not something that's seen as a luxury. This should be your daily thing. This should be something that you incorporate into your everyday routine. Like, why can't you have a spa at the end of work day? Like, no one is saying that, you know, for you to have a spa, you have to have done a whole month's worth of shifts back to back. You're supposed to tire yourself out and everything. So for me, it's just remembering that I'm important and I need to be looked after. Even if that means, you know, taking myself out to look after. But other people should pamper me as well, to be honest. I think that's part of self-care for me anyway. That's like my own self-care. You should be around people that make you feel good. 'Cause I think a lot of the time, sometimes we kind of stay within our circle, even though some people in our circle don't make us feel good, but we're like, let's just, you know, it's how it's been. We don't want to change it. We don't want to rough up any feathers.
Because you've said that, I think one of the biggest things that I've done in the name of self-care in my life has been to instill boundaries. And like, I'm a recovering people pleaser. People pleasers, stand up. It's hard out here, but we're doing it, you know. And I think when I decided that I was gonna choose myself, like I remember a couple years ago I tweeted, choose yourself every time, baby girl, like, and that got like 3,000 retweets. But I was not choosing myself. Like, I was not choosing myself in my friendships, even in my family relationships, in my, you know, romantic relationships, even at work. Like, I was always letting people walk all over me. But obviously I'm not a pushover. Anybody that knows me personally will know. But it's just in the way that I wouldn't say no, in the way that I would just, you know, I wouldn't put myself first if I'm too tired for something, or if I'm, you know, just like pouring into people when you're on minus. You know, like, it's good to pour into people. Like, I'm all for, like, I believe strongly in community, and I don't believe we're supposed to do life alone. Like, that's just not. I don't stand. But you need to have a certain amount of, you know, you need to give, you need to be in overflow or somewhere near there to give, and it not be detrimental to you. That's what you've got to be in, you know. And I never was. So instilling boundaries with yourself, with your relationships, is like has been one of the biggest forms of self-care. And that's something I only started doing like 3 months ago. Like, well, when I moved out my mum's house this time last year, I think that was the start of my boundaries journey. I was thinking about it, and then I started therapy. But then I think 2021 is when, like, okay, we've done the theory, now it's time for the practical.
I think 2020 even birthed the importance of self-care for me, because I realized that, you know what, I actually need to do better. And I was falling off. Oh my gosh. I realized that I didn't have a lot of discipline that I thought I had. And I realized that, again, I didn't have that. I didn't have boundary. What you were saying about allowing people to walk over you, that's me. Like, I used to be like that. And then I would always dismiss their actions and be like, oh, you know, maybe they've had a rough day. But it's like, I've had a rough day too. Selena Gomez, she said, you know, it should be an honor for, you know, someone to be with her. And I was like, wow, it's true. It should be an honor to like, not like to be in my presence, but like for you to know me. It should be. I'm not just anybody. I'm me. Like, there's only one of me, and I kind of know. I know my worth, and I know my value, and I know what I bring. Even if it's relationships, friendships, family, I know what I have to offer. So if people are just doing me anyhow like a yo-yo, I'm gonna sit back and be like, okay, I don't think you got the memo. How do you deal with negativity and past trauma?
I mean, first of all, I just want to make it clear that everybody's traumatized. Like, trauma isn't like necessarily you losing your mum at 3 or whatever. Like, it's, you know, last year traumatized all of us. That's a great example of how we can all collectively be traumatized. So I think that's important to acknowledge, because some people, like, they had decent childhoods. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, does their struggle, are their struggles invalid because they weren't, you know, assaulted? No, they're not. Do you know what I mean? So don't let anyone invalidate your trauma just because it's not as bad as the next person, because that happened to me. And funnily enough, like when I was in school, like the people around me, I don't know whether it's because of the way I talk, because of the way I carried myself, but they just thought I had a certain life that I just didn't have. And so it was kind of one of the ones where anytime I brought up anything about myself or my family, the way I felt about my looks, it was just shut down and completely invalidated. And as like, obviously, as like someone who's like the middle child, like, you know, like what they say about middle children, the forgotten ones, like that as well, like kind of like my struggles and my frustrations, I felt like I didn't have permission to complain. I just kept it bottled in, or, you know, I would lash out. I was quite a rebellious child. So don't let anyone invalidate you or your trauma. Like, it matters. But how I've dealt with trauma is giving myself permission to be frustrated. It goes back to what I just said, like just giving myself permission to be like, that wasn't okay, like, and I'm angry about it. That's number one. And letting myself mourn or feel whatever it is, like, so I can be quite avoidant when it comes to when something's really devastating. Like, if it's sad, cool, but if it's really devastating, I can be quite avoidant to the point where I actually forget that it happened, because to me it's so sad and I'm just like, I can't deal with this sadness. And that's basically I don't remember a lot of my actual childhood, but like what I've learned to do is that's actually quite destructive. And you know, the body remembers what the mind forgets. So doing stuff like that, although, you know, it's a trauma response, it's a coping mechanism, the body registers that, and that manifests itself in so many different illnesses and conditions. Like, I'm not a medical health professional, but, you know, studies have shown that a lot of, you know, different illnesses are linked to stress, linked to trauma. Do you know what I mean? Because you didn't let yourself mourn, you didn't let yourself feel. So now I just let myself feel, let it come and let it go. Obviously, you know, the support of a mental health practitioner for me has been imperative, just because I just felt like I was not taught the tools that I need in order to kind of overcome different things that I feel like I want to overcome. And through, you know, therapy and counseling, I found that I've learned a lot more on how to manage my emotions, because I don't want to say the damage is done, because I believe in a miracle working God, but at the same time, some things are in place. You know, for as long as they're going to be in place, you need to learn how to navigate them, how to overcome them. So with like the help of mental health practitioners, I definitely learned how to manage the anxiety that I deal with, how to get past it, sometimes how to just soothe it, and, you know, like all these things. I think that's number one. And then definitely prayer and meditating in general, and meditating on the word of God, like, has played a big part in me dealing with trauma and everything, and dealing with future traumas, because unfortunately this life, as we've seen, things are gonna keep on happening. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just where we at. It's just, the game is the game. And with dealing with negativity, I'm still learning that, because I feel like I'm a sensitive person. So I need to just be careful what I like believe. I think I find it harder to deal with negativity when it comes from loved ones. If it comes from a stranger, I really don't care. Like nobody is caring. Like, I don't know you, I don't owe you. But if it comes from someone that loathes me, and then they say something, like, which has happened, I can be thinking about that for days. I honestly can go to sleep thinking about said comment or action, like, because I care. So I'm still learning through that, but I think firstly, people's opinions are just that, an opinion. You don't have to like empower that opinion by taking it on and making it a fact. Do you know what I mean? And also, like, this is maybe because of the way we were raised with the school system, you know, as Africans, culture and everything. But just because someone's older than you doesn't mean that they're right. Like,
oh, please. The people at the back. The ones at the back.
Like, it took me a long time to realize, like, damn, like, this lady is not right. Even someone close in age to me, like I have an older sister and we're really close, but then like, because obviously, you know, anyone who's got an older sister will know, like, I don't want to say you idolize them, but like low-key you do a little bit. And I had the thought the other day, like, just because she's older than me and she's my elder doesn't mean she's always right. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that comes down to trusting yourself and being informed.
I like that, trusting yourself.
100%. Yeah. Learn how to trust yourself, which is something that, you know, if you're recovering from trauma, dealing with low self-esteem, it's hard to do. I want to give a shout out to anybody that's trying, but keep trying. Learn how to trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the more you know yourself. Like, negativity, what the hell does that matter? Like, what's it gonna matter to me? If you tell me something that's untrue, that's irrelevant, I don't give a damn. That's between you and God, really. And you need to take that to prayer. You need to take that to the throne room.
Speaking about negativity, have you ever received like negativity through YouTube?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, but it's like funny. Like people saying like, oh my God, your forehead's so big. Like, you know, like little racist trolling comments that are like, they don't even have a profile picture. Like, nobody's checking for you, Paul. Like, don't nobody care what you have to say. Like, so to me, I find it quite hilarious. Like, once again, I don't care. Like, for me, if it's a close friend or a loved one, that's when I start caring. I started to add more routine into my life last year when the world fell apart, and it has proven fruitful, because I was, you know, not really in a great place at first, especially when I first moved out. It was very weird to get used to being alone, and also it was my first big girl job and I just wasn't managing the panoramic, moving out, this new job, this new team. It was a lot. So my therapist recommended routine, but before I even speak to a therapist, guys, if you don't have access to a therapist or like you don't have a friend, just Google stuff. Like, honestly, Google can give you advice like an older sister can. Like, I'm telling you, don't Google if you have a health problem, but I Google everything. Like, sometimes I Google like how do I get over a friendship breakup, or like Google everything, okay, just so you know. So I just Googled like, oh yeah, I'm really struggling to sleep, and then it said something about routine. So then I started to implement my routine. When I started journaling, I would only dump journal, so it wasn't anything thoughtful or anything gentle. It was just I was waking up with a lot of things on my mind, and I just needed to look to my left, grab a piece of paper and just dump, like word for word, like messy handwriting, all of that. So I started firstly with just something simple. Like, if you want to get into routine, definitely don't start with like a 7-step morning routine, like, because you're not gonna stick to it, like, unless you're really like on it. But, you know, start gentle. Add 2 things to your day. Like, every single morning I journal, I make my cup of tea, and then that's it. Do you know what I mean? And then over time I started adding things.
I have to have a calendar on my phone, set reminders, because I'll just get overwhelmed, and then I'll just be like, oh my God, there's so many things to do today, I don't have the time. But I'm just forgetful sometimes, and it could be little things like I don't know, drink water. I'm not even joking, like, drink water. I forget to drink a lot of water, and I have water, so I'm just like, okay, I need to remind myself. So at 12 it comes up, drink water. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks, Debbie. It's like Debbie looking after Debbie, to be honest. But yeah, I'm like that. I have to write stuff down, or else I honestly start getting overwhelmed. I think just seeing what other people do as well, actually, because I was listening to a podcast, Just with Jade podcast, and she was saying how she actually has an app, and it's called Notions. It's just nice to know what other people are doing, just to kind of see, okay, can I do something better to kind of help myself?
I think routine is important, I think it really helps with, if you're struggling with your mental health, if you're struggling with a lot of things, it can really help you. But be careful, like, don't be too hard on yourself. For me, self-care is not just face mask and, you know what I mean? It's waking up early, working out, eating good, meal, like all those things tie into self-care for me. People feel like they got to do things by themselves and be strong, and no, you don't.
Yeah, can we speak about that?
Let's. I believe in community, I believe in support, and you know, being independent is really a beautiful achievement, but sometimes it's a little bit toxic, you know, and it makes you feel ashamed to ask for help. When we all decide that we no longer tolerate something, that said thing like has to just like rise. Like, for example, if we all as women decided we no longer tolerate rubbish men, they all have to collectively raise their standards if they want women. Do you know what I mean? So guys, let's stop pretending like we want to. We don't. If you people want the only people that want a badge of honor of struggle are the people who've never struggled. They think it looks cool and they want to try. Do you know what I mean? They think it's a bit saucy. Do you know what I mean? They think it's exciting, it's a bit spicy. If you want, we can swap lives.
On the edge, living life on the edge. It's a bit risky. It's not risky. It's not.
It's not. We can swap lives today. Like, we can come and get, yeah. Let's stop, please. It's okay to receive help. Me, I receive a lot of help. As you see me today, somebody help. Even some of this makeup I'm using, I didn't pay for it. If it wasn't a birthday present, if it wasn't gifted from a brand, if it wasn't my older sister that bought it for me, like, even the gel that I used to slick down my hair, it is not my housemate that gave it to me. She was throwing it out. I said it didn't work for her. I said, I'll take it. Like, don't ever get it twisted. People are helping other people. Like, I'm not gonna die on the line being independent, sorry.
There's too many people just selling false dreams, guys. Please, take your time. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys are actually probably wondering, like, how did I meet Arlene? We've not met. Okay, we've met virtually. First video I actually watched was getting dragged by Twitter.
Nigerian Twitter.
Nigerian.
Okay.
I swear I was like, huh? How? Like, first of all, I didn't know it. I was just confused. So I was like, let me watch it. that was my first ever video anyway, and I was ever since. I've been
because of my trifling ex. But anyway, go on. With his trifling ass. Trifle.
But that's literally how I found you. I'll say that. So yeah, that's how I found Arlene, guys. So if you're ever wondering how this collab came to be, I told you guys I'll be doing collabs. I want to go back to the days. I was telling you this, isn't it? I want to go back to those days, guys. Please remember them days you come back from school and you're on YouTube and people are doing collabs up, right, left, everywhere. Collab.
It was a good time, glorious time in history for sure. A lot more community, like a community before.
There's people that I've messaged that haven't messaged me back. I'm waiting.
Y'all could have been a part of the team. Y'all could have been a part of the movement.
It's been really nice having you on here, Arlene.
Thank you so much for having me on here. Like, I'm so grateful.
I hope we can do more videos.
100%. In person as well.
In person, yeah. The outside is open, but we're still in a panoramic. Okay, so take care, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe to Arlene's channel as well. It's gonna be in the description box, in the description below. So make sure you guys follow her.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. You've been a pleasure to talk with over the last couple of weeks, and thank you for all the bits that you helped me to make today like a lovely self-care day that I actually really needed.
Guys, we have a giveaway. We have a giveaway, okay? So the instructions of how to take part in this giveaway is below in the description. So make sure you guys check it out and join the giveaway, okay? You do not want to miss this lovely box of goodies. Shout out to all the brands actually that collabed with me. I have a discount code for Shimmy Rose Lip Balm. 100% shea butter, natural. I love it. It's amazing. So make sure you guys take part in this giveaway and you could be a lucky winner. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, thank you.
This was such a good conversation.